Hello, I'm Ian with Infield Design, and in this video we'll be taking a look at Winecell's Wineclub batch management. We'll be going through and running a test batch and checking out how it all works. So we'll go ahead and get started. So just to review a little bit, the Wineclub module has the concept of club groups, or kind of like your base club, and clubs as your club levels. So we'll see I already have some club groups set up, and inside of each of these clubs I have some club levels set up. So we'll go ahead and batch a club here. So let's take a look at the batch manager. This is kind of the grid of what batches you have open, and you can filter by status, open or closed. We'll get into what exactly that means in a second. And then we have the concept of templates. So I'll go ahead and take a look at the template manager here. We'll create a new template for a club that we're going to run. So we'll set up a new template. The template is kind of like the basic order for a batch. So you create your new batch and you select a template to run, and then everyone in that club that you're running will receive those items that were defined in the template. So we're going to create a new template here. We'll go ahead and make one for the waiter's premier tasting flight. So we'll select our club, and then we'll just have 2 bottles that will run. June 2013. So right now we don't have any items specified for this template, but we'll go ahead and add some. So I don't have very many products in my store, but we'll run a couple of Pinots here. Add our selected products to the template. So you'll see that added our products here. This is the list of products, name, price, quantity, and we can remove them from the template or change the quantity. Well, we'll see the base price for this template will be $85. So we'll go ahead and save this. So there we go. So what we can do is we can create a new batch for our waiter's premier tasting flight. Start creating some orders. So the first thing we have to do is pick out the club we'd like to batch. So I'll search for a club here, do the 2 bottle level, and then we pick out the template that we would like to apply to it. So our Wineclub manager also has an anniversary gift feature, but right now we don't have anyone qualifying. And then right before we finish creating the batch, you'll see that we have a review here, and then here's some of the settings for the batch. We have our cashier key, which is which of your admins is creating the batch. We have our ship date, which is all of the wine cellar tools are integrated with ship compliance. So for this batch, we'll be committing all of our orders with a specified ship date here, and we'll say we're going to ship these out on the 24th. Then we have a little information about the template, little club info, and then our club members. So what you'll see here is that we have 131 records here of who's actually going to be receiving wine. Any members that are not active or who are on hold will be excluded from the batch, and you can view them by changing the filter here. But right now all of the members are active and no one's on hold, so we'll just go ahead and continue on. So click save. So we'll get a little dialog saying that this is going to create the quotes. So what this means is that it's going to start the process of kind of filling up new shopping carts for each of these members. It's just a little alert to make sure you're paying attention. Right now, in this process, no one's getting charged. No one's receiving any email notifications. But this kind of signifies like the start of a new batch. So we'll see that it's currently generating quotes. And right now, if you refresh the page, I don't think we'll see much. So batches are set up to be run on a cron schedule. So what that means is that the system is every is set up so that every 3 minutes it's going to run the batch processing job and start processing orders. And the reason for this is that this allows us to schedule multiple jobs at once. So what we could actually do is we could create and schedule more batches and have them all running simultaneously. And the cron task will just pick up where it left off in each of these batches. So it allows you to run multiple jobs at once, which is kind of nice. You just kind of set it and forget it. But the cron task should have kicked in. Mine's set to be pretty quick because I'm doing the demo here. But so I start refreshing the page, you'll see that it's now actually generating the quotes. And if we take a look over here in the quotes tab, you'll see that some of these now are processed. So right now we have 42 processed and 72 left to process. So this will finish up in a little bit. Alright, so we'll see that it finished generating all of the quotes. So if we go check it out, we'll see that we have 131 records here, which is all the people in the batch. And one of the useful things here is you can get reports at any time, and you can export them to either CSV or Excel. Another thing we can do is filter by whether or not there were any errors. And at this stage, likely most of the errors we'll see are address errors. So what that means is that currently there's an error with this customer. Their billing address is not specified. So that's something that if that crops up, what you can do is you can actually go edit their membership right now, and then set their billing address, and then you can reprocess the quotes, and that'll take them back through the process. So what you can do is you can kind of do error recovery. So if there's any address errors, you can have your customers send out an email. Their customers can update their own addresses, or you can contact them and update their address for them. If there's any payment errors, the same deal. And that helps you carry out each of these quotes all the way through ordering and invoicing. So you'll see that we don't have too many errors in this batch. So we'll just go ahead and continue on. We have 128 valid quotes. So we'll go ahead and create orders and get a little message that says this will create orders. Sure, you want to continue. What should we do? So this is actually going through each of these quotes and converting them into orders. And what that means is that at this point, it's going out to our payment gateway that we have configured, and it's actually authorizing all the credit cards that it's associated to each of these quotes. So it's taking the payment information from the membership that's set up and going out and authorizing. And we'll just go ahead and refresh here. And again, this is all on a task so that you can actually queue up multiple order jobs and let them all run, and it'll just chug away at it. So our batch is done right now, so we can go ahead and get to the invoicing process. And what this will do is this actually is the step that captures the payment. So this will go through and it'll create new invoices in Magento for each of these orders. This will also trigger a configurable email, so you can set up a template for that, and then it'll go out and capture the funds through the payment gateway and commit these orders to ship compliant if they're compliant, or not compliant if you set it up that way. So we'll go ahead and create these invoices, and then it'll start the invoicing task. So you'll see as I refresh, each of these are going through and becoming processed. So it's processing these, and this is a little snapshot of the invoices. So we can go ahead and take a look at an invoice here. And here's an invoice that was committed to ship compliant. And you'll see that we selected our ship date and everything. Just to touch on shipping. Shipping is defined in it's a shipping table, and it's defined in the configuration section, which we'll cover in a different video. So we'll go back to our batch here. Alright, so it went ahead and it invoiced everything. So you'll see we have 128 new invoices. Since it's using my test credentials, I don't believe it's going to have any problems creating invoices. But again, if it runs into any problems, you'll see that it lists the error inside of the error column. And typically at the quote stage, which is kind of filling the shopping cart stage and setting up the batch, you'll see address errors or payment information errors if it's not specified. At the order stage, you'll typically see, again, some address errors if they had changed their address in the meantime, or you'll see some sort of payment errors if it couldn't capture the funds for whatever reason. And invoice errors will typically happen if it couldn't capture funds. So if you encounter an error, anytime, like especially for address errors, what you can do is you can just have the customer change their address information, or you can change it for them, and then you can reprocess each of the steps to move customers through the batch. When you're finished with the batch and you don't want to reprocess it anymore, you don't want any of the quotes hanging around, because if you make a lot of batches or you have a big store, some of the quote information can stick around and fill up your database. So if you close a batch, what it'll do is it'll close the batch so that it can no longer be processed, which is nice for house cleaning. And then all the quotes will be flagged for cleanup, and those will get deleted. Because right now, since the batches are active, it'll keep around all of the batch information so that you can continue to work with it. So I'll go ahead and close this batch out. So we'll see that my batch has been closed. So if I head back to the batch interface, we don't currently see it, because by default all the views will filter out the closed batches, so you don't have them cluttering your screen. But if I change the status to closed or to show any, you'll see that my Wine Waiters Premier Tasting Flight batch is listed right here, and I can check it out. And then again, all that order information, if you want a high-level kind of view, you can view the Wineclub orders, and this will pull up all of the orders that have been created under Wineclubs in your store, so you can review those or filter them and generate reports that way. So that about covers all of the batch managing and template management aspects of Wineclub.